I'm Trey Waugh. I'm the owner, head stall cleaner, and bucket scrubber here at Bushy Mountain Horsemanship in Rapidan, Virginia. And the reason I would like to be part of the Road to the Horse wildcard competition is I would like to prove that you don't have to be a famous sponsored horse trainer with a TV show and a cult following to be a world-class colt starter. I'd like this opportunity to prove that you can be an unknown underdog from a small farm and still be a world-class horseman. I've been very blessed that I grew up on a farm here in Virginia riding horses my whole life. There have been certain times in my life where I was more active with training horses than others, but it's always been a constant. They've always been there. As a kid and in my early teens, I showed hunter jumpers here in Virginia. And in my late teens and all through my 20s, I moved out west, started cowboying, and worked as a big game guide and guiding pack trips and trail rides and working on ranches and cattle ranches out west, where I gained thousands and thousands of miles and hours of experience. And a lot of that was the old-fashioned way, which is a little bit different than we do it today. About 4 years ago, after 25 years of being a big game guide, a carpenter, a diesel locomotive engineer, which means I drove trains, and a professional skydiver, I decided to go back into horses full time. Here at Bushy Mountain Horsemanship, we start about 20 colts a year that go into all disciplines, from racing, hunter jumpers, penning, sorting, pleasure horses, trail horses, competitive trail rides. The first 30 days is pretty much the same for all of them. And then when we start to finish them, my daughter does the most of the hunter jumper stuff, and I do most of the other stuff because she's the finished equestrian and I'm more the cowboy. So here on Bushy Mountain, we start about 20 colts a year, and we also train and finish about another 20 horses, which go into all disciplines. Not big time like most of your Road to the Horse people are, but I'm just here to show you that I can do it just as well as they can. My active role models are Buck Brenneman, Al Dunning, and Clinton Anderson. And I've been to many of their clinics, and the reason that I follow them is because they learned from the greats and the pioneers in natural horsemanship like Ray Hunt, Tom Dorrance, and Gordon McKinley. So they had the opportunity to learn from those great guys, so that reflects on them, and so I follow them because I get the collective knowledge. Watching these guys and following these guys, I have the advantage of also learning what not to do, watching the mistakes they've made, and that way I don't duplicate those same mistakes, which makes it a little bit easier for me. I don't follow any one person's method step by step. What I do is I take from them what works best for me, and I incorporate that into my own unique style of starting and training. My goal is to be the best horseman ever. Not to be the most famous horse trainer, not to be the richest horse trainer, but to be the best horseman ever. And in order to do that, I have to be a constant student, learning from every resource that is available to me. Alright, so part of the training here at Bushy Mountain Horsemanship for every horse that gets started here is the obstacle course. And this is to teach them to think and pick their feet up and listen instead of react and freak out. The obstacle course is one of the best tools ever. It desensitizes them to noisy, spooky things, and it also makes them brave. So the obstacle course is a big tool that we use, and it just makes a very good, well-rounded broke horse. Lexi, my daughter, does most of the hunter jumper training, but I do get in on it a little bit because I like to be a well-rounded equestrian. I don't like to be, limited to the Western genre. I like to be able to do all aspects of horsemanship and riding. Our day here at Bushy Mountain Horsemanship starts pretty much like every other horse farm, every other horse ranch. The first thing we do in the morning is feed our horses. Some horses get this, some horses get that, some horses get more protein and less fat, some horses get more fat and less protein. It all depends on what that horse is doing. So that's the first thing that happens every morning, is giving the horse what they need to do the job that they do. So that's Bushy Mountain Horsemanship, and that's Trey Waugh, and that's why I would like to be a part of this competition. And so here we go. We're going to start Apache, and I hope you enjoy what we do. Alrighty, we're going to start Apache today. He is a 3-year-old paint quarter horse who has spent his whole life turned out in a cow pasture. The lady that owns him brought him over here yesterday, said it was quite an ordeal to get him on the trailer. But he's had minimal handling. Obviously he's not scared of people. He's not a wild horse by any means, but in Central Virginia you don't get a whole lot of wild horses. Most of the horses we get around here have had a little bit of handling. So he's not scared of people, so he's not hard to catch. So that means he's probably going to be a little bit dull. He hasn't had any work, any round pen work, never been started or anything. But he has had some handling, as you can see. So he's probably going to be a little dull, a little lazy, but we're going to start his first work right now. It's December the 12th, about 40 degrees, and he's looking good, and we're getting ready to have a good session. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is just get him moving, get his feet freed up, and get him going around the round pen. Come on. Now I want him to go consistently in one direction with the least amount of pressure. So how much pressure do I use? I use as little pressure as necessary, but as much as it takes. So I start off with a little bit of pressure and just increase the pressure until I get what I want. So right now we're just getting him to go. Just trying to get his feet moving, get him moving forward. I don't like to send them around and around and around too many times in one direction. They just kind of get dull and forget what they're doing and keep trotting around. So I'm going to change direction with him once I get him moving around here pretty good.
And when I do change direction, I want him to change direction to the inside and face me. So he's always got his attention on me. And to change direction, I just step in front, try to draw his eye into me. Nope, wrong way. I just step in front, try to draw his eyes to me, and get him to go the other way. Now he's being a little lazy. He's been turned out in the cow pasture just grazing and picking up cockleberries in his vein. And not doing anything. So he's going to be a little lazy and a little dull. Good boy. Good boy. Now, as soon as I get what I want, I take all the pressure away. First I'll point, then I'll add more pressure if I need to. But eventually I want him to go on just the point. Good boy. Good boy. He seems to be picking that up pretty quick already. All right, now he's shown us he can try it. Now we're going to get him to canter around a little bit. He's kind of wanting to turn to the fence. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. I always like them to turn into me. They keep their eye on me. You get their respect a little bit more that way. Well, he doesn't want to give me an eye. I'll just go to his hip a little bit, try to catch his eye again. Good boy. Little dull right there. Now he's doing real well. He's just lazy, dull. Now today's his first day. We're not expecting any kind of perfection. We're just expecting a good try. Now I'm going to try to draw him to me. He's looking away. Go to his hip a little bit. Try to catch his eye. That's right. He's facing me. He gets to rest right there. That was a good try. Now I'd like for him to come on in a little bit. But as long as he keeps his eye on me, I'm going to let him have a little rest. Now, I would like him to come on into the center. He doesn't know what to think of that plastic bag right there. But this is where he's going to get his rest. This is where he's going to catch his air. This is the release of pressure right here. And every opportunity I have, I'm going to rub my hands all over him. Just preparing him for the saddle. And for the rider. Now, he doesn't appear to be worried about this much at all. He has a mane full of cockleberries. Alright, he's a little skittish. That's alright. He's licking his lips. He's soaking it all in. Licking those lips, let you know that he's thinking. He's thinking about it. Now, he didn't work real hard right there, so he's not really out of breath. So he doesn't need a lot of rest right now. So we're going to put him to work just a little bit more. Try to get him going a little bit more freely. Just trying to get those feet moving. When I ask him to go in the direction, I'm going to point the direction that I want him to go. That's the least amount of pressure. That's asking. Then I'm going to tell him which direction to go by clucking. And then if he still doesn't go, I'll make him go with the stick. So I'm going to ask him, then I'm going to tell him, then I'm going to make him. Starting off with the least amount of pressure, building up to however much pressure we need. So I'm going to ask him to go this way. I'm going to tell him. Now I'm going to make him. I'm going to go to his shoulder to get direction. Now, as soon as he stepped off, I took all of those cues down. That's the release of pressure. This is pressure. More pressure. He does what I want, so I release the pressure. As long as he's doing what I want him to do, there's no need to have any pressure on him. He gets over here next to the camera, next to the gate. He wants to slow down a little bit. And that's even with a wild Mustang or anything. It just seems that horses throughout the world are born want to stop at a gate. Horses love to stop at the gate. So I'm going to put more pressure on him at the gate just to make it uncomfortable there. I don't want him stopping at the gate. So I'm going to make it uncomfortable for him to be there. Now we're going to change direction. No. Go to his hip a little bit. Try to get his eye. There you go. Good boy. Now I'm going to do a couple of more changes of direction at the trot before I do many more changes of direction at the canter. It's just easier at the trot. Wrong way, wrong way. Make it uncomfortable for him to do that. We'll get a couple of more changes of direction at the trot where it's a little bit easier. And then we'll get some at the lope. Now I'm not going to send him around 10 times. 3 or 4 times around is going to be about it. That way I keep his attention a little bit more. Good boy. Now he's wanting to come in. I should have taken that opportunity right there to draw him into the center. But I missed it. Now this time when I ask for a change, when he faces up, if he looks like he wants to come into the center, I'm going to invite him in and let him catch some air. I'll step in front. He's licking his lips, he's thinking about it. I'd really like him to come on into the center right now. So I'm just going to walk around and try to put a little pressure on his rear. He seems to be paying attention to that. See if I can't get him just to come on in just a little bit. Good boy. This is where I want him to get his air. This is where I want him to rest. This is the release right here. That's a good boy. Now we're not going for perfection on the round pen today. We're just going for an introduction. Just asking for a try. Try to do it just a little bit. Just kind of know what it's all about. The more we do it, the better he'll get. but we can't expect perfection today. This is his first time ever doing it. He's being real good about my space right now. He's not jumping up in me. He's not inside of my bubble. He's being real good about respecting the space. Well, he's breathing a little bit, not real bad. It's cool today. It's about 40 degrees. So he's not getting real hot. It was also good because I'm not getting real hot. We're going to let him catch a little air right here. And then we're going to ask him to do it again from the cannon. Well, we're going to let him know that rest right here is in the center. This is where we rest. This is where we catch our air. And I'm taking this opportunity right now, just rubbing him all over his face. He's had a halter on, but he's never been bridled or had a hackamore or anything like that on. So I'm preparing him for that right now. Just approach and retreat. And he's bored. A big old yawn. He's telling me, what's going on here? Alright, well, that's good. So this time, I'm going to ask him to go the other way. Now, I want to set him up for success, not for failure. If he was pointed this way, I'd ask him to go this way. If he was pointed that way, I'd ask him to go that way. But since he's looking right at me, he's facing square up to me, doesn't matter. I'm going to ask him to go any direction. I'm going to ask him to go the opposite direction that I did the last time. So I'm going to point, I'm going to cluck, and then to get the direction, I'm going to put pressure on his shoulder to get direction, to get him to move his front end away. Once he's going the right direction, then I'll put pressure on his rear for impulsion. So we're going to ask for direction, then we're going to ask for impulsion. But we got to have direction first. So we're going to ask, tell, and make good board. Nope. To hit him with the string, but I just might have to. He wants to be sticky at the gate. Now, wasn't that good? He went on just the point. He's starting to get it. He learned something right there. He went on just the point that time. he doesn't want to face up. There he goes. Now he's got different sticky spots in each direction. Going this way, he likes to get sticky at the gate. Going the other way, he likes to get sticky where I've got some tools and stuff set over here. So we put more pressure where he's sticky and less pressure where he's not. Now he's cut the corner a little bit right there. I'm not really going to worry about that today. I might just try to push him out a little bit. Make him canter. He seems to turn to the right a little bit better than he turns to the left. All horses are one side right-handed, left-handed. Pretty sticky right here. We keep him going through there, less pressure here. Sticky here, more pressure. Less pressure. I want to keep him cantering through that sticky spot. Now I know he's going to get sticky at the gate, so I'm going to give him a lot of pressure right there. Less pressure here. I know he's going to get sticky at that gate. Go to his hip. Try to get his head. Stay behind the drive line. If my energy is behind his shoulder, that's going to make him go forward. If my energy is in front of his shoulder, it's going to make him stop or turn. I think we need to do some more changes of direction at the truck. There you go. You want to come in? come in? No? He's getting tired. He's starting to break a sweat. He'll get his eye. Doesn't want to give me that eye. I go to his hip. Now I got his eye. Go to his hip just to break him loose. Try to get him to come into the center. He's licking his lips. He's thinking about it. I'm just going to walk away. That's good. Now, he's panting pretty good. We're going to let him catch a little air right here. Right here is the safe spot, in the center with me. This is where we get our rest. This is where we get our air. This is the release right here. The release of the pressure. Now, as long as he stays right here, as long as he stays in the center, or close to it, and doesn't make an attempt to walk away, we're going to let him stand. Get his air. If he goes to move away or walk off, we'll put him back to work. But if he stays right here, he gets to catch his air. Now that he's a little tired, wanting to rest a little bit, good opportunity to do a little desensitizing. And my halter's over here on the rail. If he wants to follow me over there to get it, that's fine. That's good. I don't mind that at all. But I'm not going to put the halter on him right here next to the rail. I'm going to bring him back to the center. Just in case he did want to do something silly, he wouldn't run over me or try to bash up against the rail. No, he's being a little contrary here, but nothing bad. He has got a lot of cockleberries in his mane. Well, he's doing a real good job of following right now. Now this is good and bad, as he's looking at me for rest, for security. And it's good that he's looking at me for rest and security, but that could be, you know, not your best friend later when we go to put the saddle on him and he tries to jump into your shirt pocket looking for that security. So we're always making sure we're paying attention to his attitude, his disposition, and keeping ourselves in a safe position. And he's a little winded right now. It's a good time to do some desensitizing. I'm just going to rub him with this stick. Try to keep him tipped to me. I've been getting after him with this stick, but I don't want him to be scared of it. I want him to respect the tools, not be scared of it. Same way with me. I want him to respect me, not be scared of me. So I'm just going to start off just rubbing him with the stick. Start on the shoulders, the back, the rump. I'm not going to go too far down his back legs right now, or his front legs. He's never been trimmed or shod or anything. He's never had his feet messed with. So I want to do a little bit more preparing on that before I get too close. Alright, now I'm going to just undo the string. Let that string flop all over him. I'm just going to throw the string over him. If he goes to walk off, that's fine. I'm just going to keep doing it till he stands still. Keep his head turned in to me. That keeps his rear end away from me. Got my arm up to block. I'm just going to keep doing it till he stands still. Approach and retreat. Alright, he's standing still now. See if he'll relax a little bit. There he goes. Licking his lips. Licking his brain. Now I'm trying to stand at a safe distance away from him. He's kind of crouching in on me looking for protection. Got my hand up to block. Staying in a safe spot. Alright. Seems to be taking it pretty well now. He's getting a little close to me. He's a little dull. Doesn't know how to back up yet. But he's just getting a little close on me there. We seem to have tied a knot in the end of our rope. Well, I'm going to start twirling the string around, hitting the ground. I'm not going to start right at him. Eventually I want to be able to do this about a foot away from it. But I'm going to start off far away. With not much pressure. He seems to be a little worried about that. Oh, he moved there. I don't want him to be jumping on me. Well, let's rub him on the other side with this first. Well, let's get him into the center a little bit so we got a little bit more room to operate. Now I want to be standing at an angle away from his shoulder here where I can stay kind of safe. If he's going to move away from me, I just move with him. When he stops, I retreat. Rub. And retreat. Well, he's standing on it there. See if we can get him to Good. I like that. He's got a leg cocked. He's pretty relaxed. Oh, he moved a little bit there. I don't want him to think that he moves, it stops. I don't want him to be running over me either. All right, he took a big breath. It's pretty good. We're good at knot tying on the end of this thing. Now he seems to be a little bit worried about this whirling around. So I'm going to give him the opportunity to be brave and follow the twirling string. He has a tendency, horses that have a tendency to be braver following a scary object if it's moving away from them than if it's coming right at them. That gives them a chance to be brave, and we want him to be brave. So he leads. If he didn't lead at all, we wouldn't be able to do this, but he does lead. So we'll just give him the opportunity to follow this, be brave, take a good look at it. We're just going to keep going right here until he stops. Right. Every time he stops, he likes to step on that string. Now I'm going to tip his head in just to make sure I can keep his rear end away. But I'm just going to try to maintain the position right here on the side of him. Keep this twirling until he stops. Good boy. Now he's creeping in on me a little bit. I don't want him to do that, because then he might want to run me over. There he goes, big old breath, licking his lips. Now he's getting a little better each time. All right, he's got that leg cocked, nice and relaxed. That's good. That's real good. Now, whatever you do on one side, you got to do on the other. Let's stand at a safe spot. My rope short enough where I can pull his head around. I can keep my hand up to block and find a starting point. I'm just using mild energy right here. Now, I'm not expecting to be able to swing this thing like a madman right beside him today. We're just getting an introduction. There he goes, cocks that leg. As soon as he stands still and relaxes, the pressure goes away. That's what makes the pressure stop. You stop and relax, and the pressure goes away. Wow, look at that. Not even moving now. Not even moving now. Alright, let's go back to the other side. See if he's remembered. Now every time I do this, I'll use a little bit more energy and get a little bit closer. But I can't start out with a lot of energy real close, because that's just asking too much. So we find a starting point. There he goes. He's got a leg cocked, he's licking his lips. Taking it all in its stride. Next time I do this, I'll get his leg. But we're not expecting the world on this one. Just a little introduction. Alright. That was pretty good. That was good. Alright, now, the next thing I want to do is be able to flex his neck and his head around. Now, I'm not going to start off by asking him to pull his nose all the way around to his ribs. I'm going to start off by asking him to just try, just a little bit. And then we'll build on that. But this is all working on our softness, working on our flexibility, our lateral flexion, our softness, yielding to pressure. And you notice I'm always rubbing, always rubbing. I want him to be able to flex his head around a little bit. So I'm going to stand where I can move with him, safe enough to where if he's walking around, he's not going to step on my front feet. Well, his front feet aren't going to step on my feet, but I can still move with his rear end. And I'm just going to move with him and ask him to bend a little bit and stand and relax. And I'll move with him and keep the pressure on until I get what I want. And as soon as he just tries just a little bit, then we'll release the pressure. I'm going to stand with my belly button up against him. And he's already turning just a little bit. I'm going to pull out and around. I want him to just, he's fighting, he's moving. I just want him to yield to that pressure a little bit and stand still. And I get motion sick real easy, so this is a hard one for me. All right, he's standing still, but he's not giving. I want him to just give me a little give on that lead rope right there. Just get, there we go. Little slack right there. That's letting him know when you yield, I yield. And he's got to yield in laterally, not up, not down, laterally. We're going to ask him to yield again. We're going to ask for a little, for good boy, ask for a little further that time. Now, eventually I want him to turn 90 degrees. No, we're just going to ask for a little bit at a time. A little bit, there we go. And bump a little bit, good boy. Good boy. He gives me the slightest release, just a little bit of release, and I release. And he's taking to this like a champ. You're going to do about 3 or 4 good ones. Huh. That was real good. That was very good. Let's turn him around a little bit. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Going out and around, not straight back. Just give me a little try. Give me a little bit. He's leaning on it. There he goes. There he goes. Leaning. He's leaning. There we go. There. There. He's thinking about it. He's actually doing real good. The timing of that release is so important. And when I release all the way. He knows that that is the release. They don't learn from the application of pressure. They learn from the release of the pressure. I'd like him to have his head up just a little bit more. Right now, our first lesson, he's not doing bad. Alright, he's doing real good. That was fairly easy. Or do I just make it look easy? He's leaning. There he goes. He gives. Good. That was real good. We got him bending pretty good there. I'm just going to take this opportunity right now to just rub all over. But you can't rub all over. Yeah, I mean, you can't rub all over him too much. I'm going to rub down here. I'm going to rub everywhere. I'm trying to find a spot that he doesn't like to be touched. And as soon as I find the spot that he doesn't like to be touched, I'm going to touch it as much as I can. Now, he's got a few cockleberries on him right here. I'm going to try to get those off. Because here in a minute, we're going to do the jumpy, revvy, flappy. We're going to do the Jeffries method. And I don't want those cockleberries to be digging into them when we do that. So I'm just making sure that there aren't any there that could cause him to be silly if it sticks him or causes him some discomfort. All right. To walk away, I just keep going. Now when that rope goes all the way over his shoulder, he might have a tendency to jump to me. So I need to stand in a safe spot, keep my hand up to block. He's doing real good. Maybe touch his legs with it on his rump. I'm not too much worried about his legs today. We're going to do a whole lot more of that tomorrow. Whatever we do on one side, we got to do on the other. And I start off by just throwing a little bit of rope over. And then I'll throw a little more rope over. And a little more. He's taking that real well. Alright, I think he's ready for the jumpy, floppy rubby. Now, I just had hernia surgery a week ago, so I still have an incision on my belly. I'm too tender to do it right now. I'm just a week out of surgery, so I'm going to get Pam to come in here and do this. She's just going to jump up all over him. I'm going to move this out. I had this in here in case I needed it when we were round penning, but we didn't. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. Come on in, Pam. Now, if she needs a bucket to do this, we'll use a bucket. But he's standing this way. Let's just go ahead and start on this side. And I'm just gonna, I would normally do this by myself without any help. But I've still got stitches in my belly, so I can't do it. And she's gonna start off with just rubbing him all over and just putting a little bit of weight on him. She's gonna hang on him and release. And rubbing him all over. Put a little bit of weight on him, a little bit more, and release. We're not trying to overwhelm him, just approach and release. Every time she's going to put a little bit more weight on him till eventually she's going to hang on him with all of her weight on him. She's going to try to get all of her weight over there. And go ahead. That's good. Real good. That was real good. Now, I normally do this by myself, and just very good, very good. If you can, stay with him if he moves. If you can't, then, stand up and just walk with him. Very good. All right. Jump. Go ahead and jump. All right. And I want her shirt to be just filthy nasty when she's done with this. Now, do you think you're going to be able to get over him without the bucket? If you need the bucket, we'll get it. All right, think you're going to need the bucket? Okay. All right, now you hold him. I'm going to get the bucket. Now, if you can do this from the ground and jump up and lay over him, do it. If you can't, get a bucket. Now, he's never seen the bucket, Pam. I'm just going to introduce him to this bucket real quick. I'm just going to let him see that bucket. If he wants to smell it, he can. I'm just going to introduce him to this bucket. This is one of the tools we're going to use. I just don't want him to be scared of it. Alright, just move with him. Alright, I'm going to bring him back out here in the center. Now, Pam, just step up and step off. I'm going to tip his head around so he can see her. Okay. Now see if you can. Oh, I'm sorry. Stay there. Stay there. Go ahead. Get back up and look. Get your belly back on him. Stay with him. Move with him. Move with him. All right. Very good. And stop. Good. Might have jabbed him with her knee a little bit there. Okay, just get your belly back on him, get your belly back on him. Stay with him, that's good.
He doesn't like moving on this side and rubbing him on the other.
That's obvious. Very good. All right, and off. Try not to fall in the bucket. Good boy. Yeah, and just try to. Okay, come on. Keep your legs on him. Keep your belly on him. That's okay. That's good. All right, now let's get him back in the center. All right, and just try to rub your legs back and forth. There you go, just like that. Hard and off. Very good. All right, do that again. No, I'm helping her a little bit. Now, when you're doing that, make sure you're not jabbing him in the flank with your knee. There you go. There you go.
Good boy.
There you go. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Good boy.
Okay, and off.
That's a good boy.
It'd be nice to have a bucket that didn't tip over, but we work with what we got. All right, he's being real good right now. All right. Now she's rubbing him all over. Okay. Let's see if you can just slide that. You're doing real good. You can slide a little further. Real nice. That's real good. I'll do that one more time on this side. Oh yeah, look at that, licking that lip, licking that brain. All right, that was real good. That was real good. All right. Now let's turn him around. Now, this round pin's got a little slope to it, so I always try to do this on the uphill side, makes it a little easier. Horse doesn't always cooperate. All right, let's just get the bucket over there.
Do you want me to go from the back?
Yeah, go ahead, dude. Now she's doing a real good job here. She's rubbing him all over his belly. Hang a little bit. Now that's a little hard for her to do that. She's a little bitty girl. All right, now. Good, and off. Now, if he feels like he's getting ready to move in 2 seconds, then she's going to slide off him in 1. But if he feels like he's going to stand there, she's going to stay. But if she feels like he's going to move in 2 seconds, she's going to slide off of him in 1. All right. All right, slide. Next time, slide the legs. And she's rubbing him all over. She's trying to keep those legs together. As long as she doesn't put one leg on the other side of him, we're good. If she gets one leg on the other side of him, well, she's on her own. We're not riding him yet. He can't be too worried about it if he's got that leg cocked. Let's see if you can slide off the back. And this is good too. That bucket's making a hell of a sound. So we're doing some double desensitizing. Don't get those knees far apart now. Keep those knees together. Slide on off. All right, that was real good. He's licking his lips real good right there. He's been a champ on this. He didn't like it at first. He didn't like it at all at first. But it didn't take him long. Didn't take him long to accept it. And that's because we are going through this fairly quickly. But we're not skipping any steps. Does it seem like we're going through this fairly quickly? Yeah, we are going through it kind of quickly. But we're not missing anything. We're not skipping anything. We're doing everything in the order that it should be done. He's just being good. Or am I just making it look that easy? Yeah, let's go with that. I just make it look that good. All right. I'm going to flex him a few minutes. And then we're going to lunge him.
That's the first hour with Apache, raw, uncut, and unedited. I finished the first day with some lunging, saddling, and letting him wear the saddle for a few hours. The second day was a review and building on the first day. We did the same lessons, but with more energy and much more improvement. So here's day 3 and the first ride.
All right, here we are. This is the third morning with Apache. All together, first day, second day, and a little bit of work with him this morning. We've probably got a total of 4 hours working with him. And we've been going over a lot of the same stuff. And today we're going to do some new stuff. We're going to prepare him to ride. I've already done some round pinning and some lunging and some desensitizing, so now I'm going to get him used to me being up above him. So I'm going to sit on the fence and just get him used to me being, you know, higher than him and looking out of me over the corner of his shoulder up above him. And then I'm going to desensitize to the saddle with a little bit of weight there too. And that's pretty good, where we can go ahead and get him used to us being up there and getting their leg and their foot in the saddle. But I've still got the safety of the fence where I can grab a hold of that in case he wants to be silly or something. And I think that's a real good method to start doing that before you actually get on them, you know, without a safety net. So this is pretty much a safety net for both of us. He's being real good about it. That was good. I like him looking out of that other shoulder. Looking over his other shoulder. I'm going to get his attention back. I'm going to put my foot on his rump. Slide my leg on him a little bit here. That's good. That's all I really need is for him to know to just get one foot going. I'm going to get Pam to help me with him when I get on him the first time. I like to help her the first time. In 2014, when I'm in road to the horse, I know I don't get one. But when you do have one, it's nice. baby. Keeping that bend in his neck. All right, Pam, come on over here. Use that other one.
Which one do you want?
The short one. Now he's looking at her. I want his attention on me. And come on over here. All right, push his rear end away. There we go. Push his front end over. Push his rear end away. All right. Front end over. Rear end away. All right, that's good. Front end through. Let's get him to go forward a little bit. Just walk one. Go ahead. There you go. I want Pam to be the bad guy here. All right, now I'm going to turn, rear. All right, now to the front. Close the door. Open the door. Point. Forward. All right, we're going to close the door. Front end. Rear end. All right, you're doing all right. All right, rear end. All right, now step a little more. There you go. Front end. Point, there you go. Like you're round pinning. Alright, I'm just going to do a one-round stop and just let him know that I have got him. I want him to stop and yield. Now he's a little sticky. That's all right. He's gonna get better. Bump, bump. All right, Pam, ask him to go forward. All right, rear end. Front end. And rear end. And front end. All right, we're gonna just get him going now. And let's see if we can make him trot just a little bit. His feet are real sticky. Now, I would normally not let him trot this far out on the first time. But he's a little sticky and he's a little dull. And he's being real calm. So I want his feet, I want to get him moving a little better. Get those feet freed up. And I'm feeling good about it. Okay, we're going to do a 180 rear end away. All right, and go that way. There we go. All right, more in the center, more in the center. Rear end, front end. There we go. That was good. Rear end, front end. If he wants to trot on out, he doesn't feel like he's going to blow or anything. If he wants to pick up the pace a little bit, I'm not going to discourage you. Now, if he felt like he was going to explode or something, I would, but I don't think he's going to. So I'm not going to discourage that forward movement at all. All right, let's get him trotting a little bit. Let's get him trotting. All right, now I just want to rub and just keep him trotting with the least amount of pressure you can stand. I just want him to know I am everywhere up here. All right, I'm going to do a 1-ring stop to the inside just to let him know that I got him. Rub him. I'll rub him all over. I just want him to feel me everywhere. All right, Pam, I'm gonna go that way this time. Let's come around here. Now I'm gonna try to make him go a little bit. Let's just keep him walking right now for a minute while I just flop around all over him like I'm at the end of a long, hard trail and he's carrying me back to the barn. Just like an old pinning horse, we've been pinning all day. And we're riding back to the trailer for a drink of water and a cold beer. Just flopping all around. We've just got 6 cows in 60 seconds. One of the day money. Getting ready to have a cool drink. He's been real good. All right, I'm gonna do a 1-ring stop to the inside. And every time I do that 1-ring stop, I flex them both ways. Now, he's getting pretty sticky on this. And I want to go ahead and get him not so sticky on this before I put the bit in his mouth. Because I don't want to have to bump him so hard with that bit in their mouth. But we do what we gotta do. All right, come to the center. All right, now let's make him trot a little bit. Well, see if we can get him to canter for just a stride or two. Ask him down here. Now. All right, that's good, good. Don't want him ever stopping at the gate. I'm sorry, I should have told you to keep the pressure on past gate. We're good now. One range stop. Hold it, let him give. He's leaning, there we go. Stop and give. Stop and give. We're still waiting out here. There we go. To the center. Very nice trot. Now, I'm asking this horse to do a lot more than I usually do on a first ride. I usually don't ask for much. I get Pam to do most of it. But he's going good. I'm feeling good about it, so I'm asking him to move a little more and relying less on Pam. All right, let's get him to canter just a little bit. All right, we're good. Good, good. Sorry, Larry, I should have asked him to stop over there. Larry's the camera guy. Micro brew master. All right. Now, he has done absolutely fabulous. I have gotten him to do pretty much everything I want him to do, even a little bit more. And as you can see, I'm asking him to move a lot without relying on Pam. And so right now, I'm just going to get him to walk. I just want him to move. Just move around. I don't care where you move to, just move. Now that Pam's out of here, he doesn't want to move so much. He's done so good. I don't expect a whole lot on this first ride. I'd like to get him to stop right there. Now when I get off of him, I need to let him know I'm coming. So I'm going to tip his head. I got my right foot out. I'm immediately flexing. Oh boy. Now for everybody watching this video, that was anticlimactic. I know you were hoping for something else, but that's, believe it or not, that's a typical first ride here at Bushy Mountain Horsemanship. In the last 40 or 50 colts I've started, only one of them jumped a little bit. And that's the way we like it. I'm not a bronc rider. I don't ride bucking horses very well. I don't want to. So I want them to not buck. And if you spend your time getting them ready, then they don't buck. You know, you just gotta put the time in. How long does it take? Well, it takes as long as it takes. It didn't take that long with this one. Some it takes a lot longer. But we were able to get our first ride on him after about 4.5 hours of work. At Road to the Horse, I'm planning on getting on halfway through the second day. But this one, we got on him the morning of the third. All right, so that was a good first day. I'm just going to let him soak on it here for a little while. Wear that saddle for a few more minutes, do a little flexing, and that's going to be about it. Tomorrow, we'll ask for a lot more. This is Trey Waugh on Apache. As you've seen from watching this video, I have what it takes to be a Road to the Horse wild card participant. I have the experience in Western, English, and colt starting. I have the skills to go in any direction, from cow horses to trail horses, hunter jumpers, and racers. And I have more want to and desire than anyone else. It is my goal to be the best horseman ever. And if you give me the opportunity to prove myself, I won't disappoint you. I'm Trey Waugh. Thank you for your consideration.